3, 2, 1.
You know, every once in a while, the music just gets me going when I hear that.
Yeah, right. You headbanging.
Oh. And you know what? We should welcome everybody. This is the Talent Market Update. Today is Friday, September 24th. We are here as your guides. My name is Jurgen, and with me is
Davina. Good morning. Happy Friday. What a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Absolutely. What we go over on Fridays is we go over market update, let you know what's going on. We celebrate a couple things that are going on inside of the office, celebrate a few people. We also go over some open houses that are happening during the weekend, some new listings, and then bring you some news and updates on the market and try to give you a little context. And what we've been doing is we've been doing them in a quiz format so you can actually play along. How's that?
Yeah, and I get to be the guinea pig.
I know. It's one of those things. I get to find the stories and I get to throw them out there. You get to actually help everybody understand, and we all learn together.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, fun times.
Okay. Always fun times. And you know, we have since we have some open houses, etc. Have you looked at the weather yet? The weather for the weekend?
Yeah, it's supposed to be 80 tomorrow. Ish. Okay, 79, 80 degrees tomorrow and sunny. And then Sunday, we will have the rain rolling in. It'll be like in the lower 60s and a pretty good percentage chance of rain for a stint. I don't know if fall is gone. I mean, summer is like completely gone. It actually officially is fall now, right?
Yeah.
So happy fall. And as of the last couple days, I think it was the 22nd was the first day of fall, maybe 21st, 22nd, and
something like that. I think that's solstice, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah,
but you're probably right.
Yeah.
And then for me, you know, me and the family are down in Arizona, have been for a little bit, so we're excited about that. So we've got like 92 and cloudy on Saturday, but on Sunday, going to be the coolest it's been in a while, which is 83.
That's so like sweater weather in Arizona, right?
Apparently so. We're going to find out. But good morning, Donna. She's got the snazzy little picture in the background. I'm in a blue shirt. She's in a little dress. What do we got here? Oh, you know what? We have a couple of birthdays and anniversaries, or I should say a couple of anniversaries and a birthday. And the very first one is an anniversary coming up tomorrow. Do you know who this is for? This is for Miss Irene Kaje on Saturday.
Happy anniversary, Irene.
And then the next following along the week is going to be a birthday, which is Nicole Baxter on Wednesday.
Happy birthday, Nicole, coming up. Yes. October. Well, not October yet. Wednesday? No, not October yet.
Wednesday's not quite October yet.
Not yet.
Yep. And then we have an anniversary. Garrett Lafferty on Thursday.
G-Money!
Keeping it going strong. And you see his name come up again when we go over some of the open houses and new listings that are coming aboard. So with that in mind, do we have a few new listings and open houses this weekend, Davina?
We do. We actually have a handful of a little more than a handful of listings and open houses that
we've seen it with the way the market has been. We've seen it as low as maybe one or two during the week, just because the lack of inventory. We're starting to see a little bit more inventory. We're not blowing up yet on inventory, but we're starting to see a little bit more inventory come on the market. So the first one that we have here is from Susie Williams out of our Olympia office. This is at 25705 51st Avenue East in Graham. This is a 3-bedroom, 1.75 bath, a 1,620 square foot home on a acre lot, listed at $419,000. And we have an open house for you on Saturday. good extended open house on Saturday for that beautiful day, 1 to 5 o'clock on Saturday, and on Sunday from 2 to 5 o'clock. Definitely want to check this out. It is a Oasis Waits next lucky homeowner, 3-bedroom plus den. Home welcomes you through gated arbor. This is just honestly a beautiful home. Check out the description. Go visit Susie on Saturday from 1 to 5, Sunday from 2 to 5.
Yes. And here is one from Yolanda Edwards out of our Olympia office. And this, guys, look at this, is not a mistake on price. This is an investor special. Open your eyes and ears, because this one is amazing. So we have 312 East Oak Street in Oakville. It's a 2-story, a little over 1,500 square feet on about a quarter of an acre. And I'm just going to read this. Bring your imagination and tool belt. This home was built in 1889 and is ready for a restoration. Original wood flooring located under the carpets in the living room and upstairs bedrooms, wood frame glass doors open to a beautiful wood stairway, and a second-story landing with built-in cabinetry. Second story includes a large bedroom, 2 small bedrooms off a room which is currently being used as a bedroom and a half bath. Roomy living room, features a wood-burning fireplace to keep the house toasty in the winter. Open concept living room, dining room, kitchen. House is located on a large lot inside of the city limits of Oakville, and the yard has mature apple trees, plum trees, and a garden area. Tons and tons of potential. Look at the price, $155. And so definitely one to look at. Bring your tool belt. Investor alert on this property.
That's great. You know what? And then coming back into DuPont for this one. This is at 1400 Richmond Court, DuPont. This is brought to you by Sean Dagan out of our DuPont office. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2,507 square foot home on a good sized lot, 8,447 square foot lot. Now, check this out on here. Normally, I won't read all of it, but I want to read this one for you real quick. Rare opportunity to own an exceptional Zetterberg custom home in the premier Northwest Landing Inn. Large front open space and a thoughtfully designed, impeccably maintained home on a large front open space. Oh, I can't even read. So it's got generous renovated kitchen, opens into a family room with cozy gas fireplace spilling office, large bed, bonus room, master with a 5-piece bath, heated floors, fantastic. 3 additional beds, bath, fully remodeled with quality and choice materials. Delivers a tried and true timeless home, first time on market. That's fantastic. Definitely want to check that one out.
Yeah, beautiful home. And here is another super cute, brought to you by Scott Hollis out of our Lacey office, 5408 Trosper Lake Street Southwest, 3-bedroom. This is a 2-bath, 3-bedroom, 1,400 square foot, 1-story, well-maintained rambler, just minutes from everything. This house has AC. It's walking distance to a ton of amenities. It's got vaulted ceilings. It's got a great deck and garden area in the back. It's got a 5-piece bath in the master, new carpets. It's got plum trees in the backyard. And it also has private access to a lake and has RV and boat storage as well. So definitely want to check this one out. It is listed at $399,750. What a deal. And make sure that you take a peek at this home that is just newly listed on the market.
Nice job, Scott. You know what? For the next one, we have our Tenino specialist. We have Cheryl Pierce out of our DuPont office. She is bringing you this home at 349 Reynolds Street, Tenino. It is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1,412 square foot home on a 7,200 square foot lot. It is at $359,000. So it hits that nice sweet spot for so many people right now. Affordable home in charming Tenino. Come check out this well-maintained home with nicely remodeled kitchen, eating nook, living room with fireplace, separate family room and office space. Master bedroom has walk-in closet and full bath. You will find lots of storage in this 1,412 square foot home. Easy maintenance yard with raised garden bed located in a corner lot with ample parking and shop. Walking distance to downtown, shopping, restaurants, schools, city park, and walking trail. Approximately about 10-minute commute to I-5 and Tumwater, so you are close to everything. Check this out. This is again at 349 Reynolds Road Street. Cheryl Pierce, reach out to her, call her about this home.
Yes, and another one. We've got some really good ones. This one is brought to you by Garrett Lafferty and Ivana Johns out of our Olympia office. And this is a lovely condo in the Lake Meridian community in Kent, 13719 Southeast 256th Place. This is a 2-bed, 1-bath, just shy of 1,000 square feet. Okay, guys, a gardener lives here. This got two beautiful 2-bedroom, 1-bath attached on a quiet cul-de-sac. So walk out your back door and follow the path to the lake, you guys. Community cabana and park-like setting at the shore with a view of Mount Rainier. It has high ceilings and updated kitchen. The furnace was new this year. It has a water heater that was installed last year, 2-car garage, a courtyard, and beautiful perennial gardens. The HOA fees are really low. It's got a well-maintained common area, swimming and dog friendly. So this one you got to check out. It is open tomorrow from noon to 4. Wow. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go look at this condo. Sounds amazing.
You know what? I had to stop myself from going Barry Manilow there.
Yeah,
you know,
right.
At the Copa.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, and it's $400,000. So didn't want to miss out on the price too, but definitely want to look at this one online and then go check it out tomorrow.
Oh, and Kent, that's fantastic right there. And then wrapping it all up, we bring you Olympia's finest community, which is the Village at Mill Pond. It's located at the 2600 block of Lily Road over by the hospital. It's a fantastic location, close to everything. But way more important than any of that is the homes, the quality of the homes. We're wrapping up phase 2. There are a few homes that are still under construction as we wrap up phase 2. So they're ready, probably ready right for the holidays. So you don't want to miss this opportunity. Check it out. Reach out to the sales team at 360-972-8623 to schedule your appointment to find out more about this beautiful community. And that wraps up all of this week's open house. Now I feel like we need a little bumper. This week's open house.
That's right. That would be headlines. Do you have the headline? Headlines.
You know what? I think I may have finally just dropped the headlines out. Oh, no. Headlines. Because we will be getting over to those, but not quite yet.
Yeah. And I think you did. Correct me if I'm wrong. You thought you could talk over that again, didn't you? Did you think you could talk over the bumper?
I didn't. I don't think I was trying to.
Oh, okay.
I may have just been trailing. I mean, you know. I kind of trail off sometimes. I'm in a conversation. I'm like,
oh gosh,
my age is catching up to me, I think. So
okay.
Oh, and guess what? When we get into the quizzes, when we do our little trivia part of the headlines to help bring you the information, one of the things is the very last one. You know what it's going to be? You can think about this now. There was a survey that was done, and between men and women couples, the top disagreements between men and women. Going to tell you what the top disagreement of the men was. And you're going to guess what was the top disagreement of the women. So when they're buying a home, purchasing a home together.
Okay. So make it relevant. I was like, okay, the top disagreement. If we're not talking about housing, that leaves it really wide open. Okay.
Yes. About buying a home. Well, yes, the top disagreement could be many, many things. Right. We're gonna focus it in.
We're narrowing the subject matter.
All right. So what we'll do is right now, when we go local for Washington State for that Pacific Northwest, we're gonna look at the Northwest MLS. We're gonna look at some weekly numbers that occurred here. Now, on the weekly numbers, we won't spend a whole lot of time, but you can kind of see some trending that's going on inside of there. We've been talking about the fact that listings are starting to come back up again. Oh, hey, I guess I just wanted to focus on me.
It's okay.
How about I switch that? So these are the new listings for the weeks as we go along and through, and you can see that we did have a bump in listings. Actually, even compared to last year, we have a few more listings than last year on the market. Not an extreme amount. I mean, when we're talking about this amount, we should definitely, in a healthy, normalized market, see more listings than that. But what do you think about from last week going from 18 to 23? But all the weeks prior had really been about 2,400, 2,300. So it's almost a return back to what it was just prior to.
Yeah.
Anything
And
to
that's
read off
interesting.
that?
Yeah, and interestingly enough, usually as we're getting into this season, like as we get into September, October, and we see listing inventory actually historically usually goes down around this time. So it's interesting because around August is actually starts to go down. So it's
Yeah.
interesting that now we're trending back up where, so we are not in the typical years that we have been in. So that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, and I agree with you. We've got that, and oftentimes we see the sales numbers dip down a little bit, especially at the beginning of school when many families are trying to get settled rather than be moving right at that time. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that and see if it holds true to more standard forms or whether like last year, if we deviate a bit from what would be traditionally in there. So this is now looking at the pending residential sales. And again, this is a week by week comparing last year, 2020 to this year, 2021. You can see that last year we had 1,903 during the same week of the year. And this past year or this last week was 1,860. But you can see that number is actually down, not by a percentage, actually a fair amount, going from 2230 the week prior, 2203, 21, 21, really around that 2200 mark down to 1860. How do you read that?
I think it makes sense because when we looked at active listings, it was down in August. And so pending would be down this month. I think we're going to see it going up, or this week, I think we're going to see it going up, trending up. That's just my 2 cents, just looking at the stats. So
absolutely. And that's good for buyers. The more we can get some more inventory on the market as people start in this part aren't looking quite as hard because again, many times it's families and we have the schools going through. We'll normally start to see a bit of a bump as we get into October, as the school part settles down and as we approach into October, maybe into November. And traditionally, but not last year, we normally see a bit of a drop during that time. So it'll be a fun one to watch this year to see if we continue last year's trend or we fall back to a more normalized trend. This is the sold listings. So now this is where you actually see something really change. So last year we saw a similar thing. We saw 2000s, 2200, but dropping down to 1650. But look at this one. For the past 3 weeks, even 4, you've been right around 2,000, 2160, 2,085, 2389 last week for a number of properties that went sold, actually recorded 1396. That was a pretty significant drop.
mm-hmm. Definitely. And I don't know it, and we're looking at week over week, and what we're seeing also is a carryover from week to week in some instances where, before properties were, literally within that first 7 days, they're gone. And now we're seeing slightly longer list times. I mean, slightly longer. So this might have something to do with maybe some of these, carryover to the following week, and all of the listings aren't being sold in that first week too. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And Davian, I'm going to ask you one thing even before I flip the slide on here. When we talk about a more normal market, we can have an annual percentage rate that appreciation might raise by, in a more normalized market, maybe it's closer to 4 to 6% rather than what we've been seeing with double-digit appreciation, right?
Mm-hmm.
But most appreciation when it comes to home sales happen during what time? During the winter time, during the beginning of the year, during the summer. When do you see most of the appreciation occur?
We typically see, we're typically seeing more listings that are coming on the market and more activity during that spring, early summer month. So that usually is where we're seeing the if there is an appreciation or if there is more of a surge in listings, we're seeing that during that spring, during the blooming time of the season, which is actually during the blooming time of the season. So
yeah. Oh, and exactly. And that's what we would, in any other market, we're normally right in there, that during that, most of the appreciation happens during the late spring into the summer, when you have the highest number of listings that typically hit the market. You have the highest level of competition for homes in the market. So most of the appreciation for homes in a year happened during that time. So it's interesting to see how it holds true. In this one, this is the median sold price. You can see that through the year, or at least through the summer, 612, 620, now then down to 601, 609. It's been actually staying really steady right around 600,000, except for a bump really in that really heart of the late spring, early summer spot. Now, interestingly, last year, what did we see? We started to see prices kind of be steady through the first part. During the time we would see a lot of the appreciation due to kind of a bump in COVID pushing things back. And we started to see a raise, at least last year, during the time when we would normally see maybe a halting or a leveling, or in some cases, maybe even a slight drop from the fever of the summer. In this case, 600,000 staying steady. This is probably the lowest that I've seen the deviation between the two in a long time, from year over year.
Yeah, but I mean, the deviation still, as you're looking at, it's close to 18 to still, we're within that 18 to 20%,
Absolutely.
For the whole year. And even week over week from last year to this year, it's still, it's still up there in those double digits. So
yeah, no doubt there's appreciation. It'll be interesting to see how the numbers play out. And we know that during the time when the market would normally start to level off or sometimes drop last year, it kind of kept trucking. So
I think it's going to be the same this year too. We're going to keep trucking on through Christmas and the New Year.
It feels like it. The only thing I think is stopping us is the amount of inventory hasn't loosened to the extent that we had more inventory last year, and the inventory just isn't loosening up as much as we would like to see, and that would create more opportunities for some buyers and to keep that momentum going too.
Yep.
All right. Well, guess what? That was the wrap on what we were looking at for the for just the homes in general. So we actually now have, do I get to do it? Headlines. All right. Does anything make me happier than that?
I know it. Right. Glad you're amused.
Absolutely. And this actually brings us to the audience participation portion of the whole thing. And Davina, you are so brave and wonderful to be a surrogate for everybody, because I'll go out, I'll look for different stories, and when we see them, we get to give some commentary and some context to what we do. But when it comes to the initial part, the question could be phrased in a way that it isn't necessarily clear. So that's why it's fun that Davina gets to play along with you. But if you are playing along, don't forget, you can put your answers in the comments as well. So if we're ready, again, I'm focusing on me.
I'm totally good with you with that.
Well, this is one that is always the starter, right? We look at the Freddie Mac primary mortgage market survey. Everybody's rate in and of itself will be different. It depends on a lot of different conditions. But as far as the primary rates that Freddie Mac comes out with for the average 30-year fixed, do you think it was higher, lower, or the same as the week prior?
I'm gonna say slightly lower.
Ooh, It was ever so slightly. Look at that. You said slightly lower, and I said ever so slightly, and I was actually looked like I was reading it. 2.88% from 2.87%, just slightly higher. But what's
Slightly
amazing, just slightly higher. And what's amazing is it has stayed steady for now almost a couple months, right in the same range, not getting above 3%. And last year, we had at this point last year, where were we? Where were we forecasting? Where was everybody forecasting interest rates would be at this point from last year looking forward? Where were we supposed to be?
Yeah, we were supposed to be way above where we are now, like in the threes or fours. I mean, it was literally, interest rates were projected to rise at a pretty good, steady rate. Still not horrible, but we're above where we are now, above 3. So
that has been the prediction towards the end of the year for the past 3 to 4 years straight, hasn't it? Last year at this time, it was 2.9%. We're actually a little below last year. So as far as it goes for buyers, it's really still very strong. But apparently, as we read down in this article, the Feds, they are going to be reducing their monthly asset purchasing. So that may actually start to cause a rise in the rates. But all the indicators that we're supposed to raise the rates prior to this point haven't done so yet. So we're going to wait and see. We just got to, everything is continuing to go as it's been, right?
it has.
All right. Ready for this? According to University of Minnesota Consumer Sentiment Survey, the share of people who feel that now is a good time to buy a home fell to 29%. That's the lowest polled percentage since what year? 2010, during that the crash, 1997, 1982, or 1973. When was the last time Americans or the people polled felt this discouraged about the home market?
I am gonna go. And we know what was happening in 2010. But I don't know. I feel like that might be an obvious. I'm gonna go 97. I don't know why.
There was during that time there were the .com bubble and different things going on during that time for sure. But actually, it was 1982, 30 years ago. It was at 20. But guess where the mortgage rates were in 1982?
In 1982, mortgage rates were probably around 17%.
Yeah, they were over 15% at that time. So we were in a very different market. There was a large amount of inflation that was still going on. Right now, good job, Donna.
You cheated. I'm just kidding.
I think Jared got that up just a little bit late. But with the for right now, there is just the appreciation is kind of offsetting a lot of the low rates. And then just incredibly low inventory. And also, when we talk about it, the discouragement for home buyers, we understand that. That's why the strategies matter so much. But we'll give you some news that's actually good with relative to all this in just a moment. First, we'll show that here. You can see that 1982, and just how the confidence in wanting to buy. It's a little low. It's a little beaten up right now based on all the competition and things going on. Now, according to the National Association of Realtors, were home sales up, down, or the same for August 2021 compared to August 2020?
So this is nationally. So this is not in our local area, right? I would say home sales are down.
And you would be right. Home sales are down 1.5% compared to a year ago. Many homes, as you can read in the bold there, many home buyers are still in the hunt along with price increases. They're just finding fewer home listings. And this is according to Lawrence Yun, who's the NAR chief economist, although there was a decline in home purchases, potential buyers are out and about searching, but more measured about their financial limits and simply waiting for more inventory. And I think that's kind of the tough thing right now is the inventory hasn't reached the point where it started to ease the market yet. The demand is robust, but it's amplified by the lack of inventory.
Yeah. And interestingly, we're looking at prices nationwide that they're still up about 15% over what last year was nationwide.
Mhm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they may be discouraged, but I mean, it's still being buoyed based on that low inventory. It's
Mhm.
just kind of a natural thing that happens. Now, according to data from CoreLogic, and this is some of the good news, especially for the home sellers. According to data from CoreLogic, what did the national homeowner equity rise by in Q2 of 2021 year over year? So compared to 2020 to 2021, did national homeowner equity raised by 11.1%, 16.3%, 19.7, 25.2, or 29.3%?
Well, I don't know if anyone out there is going to guess, but I'm going to go with C, 19.7.
I'll give it just a moment because we've got a couple of charts we can point to here, and there's some interesting things inside of here. All right, it's actually 29.3%, up $2.9 trillion gained in
Wow.
homeowner equity year over year from Q2 of 2021 over to Q2 of 2020. But
Wow.
on the next side to that, look at this, Davina. The national negative equity dropped by 30% year over year. So with this rising appreciation, the negative equity that's out there has dropped. There were 1.2 million homes, or 2.3 of all mortgage property. Only 2.3% of all mortgage properties were underwater.
We're over mortgaged. Wow.
Yeah, isn't that great?
That
And
is great. It's just a matter of, it's there. What are you going to do with it? And it's just like, okay, stay. A lot of people, it might just be stay, because unless you're moving out of state or you're moving to another area, it's not going to make that you're going to be, apples to apples. So
yeah, same market pricing.
Mhm.
But this is a good chart too. Right over here, you can see, and this is all from CoreLogic, is in Washington, it was 103K average net equity gain in 2020 or 2021 Q2 over 2020, and even over Arizona 79K. But everything is kind of respective to where pricing was. So like in Washington, where we've had some appreciation going on for quite a while, you take something like Arizona to go up by 79K, and the amount of appreciation percentage wise to what the average homes were selling for in 2020 or prior, that 79K represents a really big percentage change in prices. Look at California, 116. Idaho, same type of thing as Arizona, 97K. That's good stuff.
Mhm.
All right. So if you're a homeowner, that sounds like good news. But when I say that, is the current market a balanced market?
What
This
is
is a gimme.
C? What is C?
42. If you've ever read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, that is the answer to life. That's the answer. 42. Now you have to know what the question is.
What? Okay.
I know it gets a little weird, and that's why my answers are a little weird sometimes. But it's a phenomenal book.
Okay. Well, we know the answer to that question.
It's not a balanced market.
Right.
Correct. Yep. But have you ever seen a housing market like this? And this is from Keeping Current Matters, a really good way of wrapping different things up. And it's, there is good news for both buyers and sellers. And we talked about part of the good news for buyers, which is that really low interest rates, when historically, an average interest rate would be between about 5 and 6%. Sometimes, depending on the markets or what's going on, would be even up to 7, and it wouldn't be obscene to be in there. But we're below 3% right now, which is just historically unheard of prior to what we've been going through. And then the median monthly payments for rents or owning a home, renters are on average paying $1,607 compared to $1,255. Normally, it's much more in line, or oftentimes the cost of home ownership is actually outweighs the cost of renting. So for buyers, this is actually good news because there are favorable things inside there between the rates and the payments. And then again, we know for sellers, I mean, the days on market are about half of what, or actually less than half of what they traditionally would be, because the market is moving so quickly because of that lack of inventory and the high demand. And we also have offers per listing. There are just more offers on every listing, even though we've seen that fall just maybe a little bit recently, right?
Yeah, but still on average more.
Oh, absolutely.
Mhm.
Okay. So there's good news on both sides. Everybody wants to now. People want to buy a home, and you're with your loved one, and you're talking about it, and you're getting into that process. Well, Davina, according to the Lending Home Survey, there are 4 things couples are most likely to disagree on when buying a home together. For men, the top disagreement was condition of home, either new or fixer-upper. So that's the top disagreement for men. Men are wanting to get more fixer-uppers, and the female companions are more apt to want to do new. The man wants to be a man. Well, what do you think the top disagreement for women was? And these were the top 4 disagreements that are listed here. So it was the top disagreement, do you think price, location, size or style of the home, or condition, whether it was a new or fixer-upper?
I'm going to go for C, the size.
For C?
Or style. Yeah.
All right. You ready to find out the answer?
Sure.
The top disagreement for women was price. So trying to make sure they're in there. And 60% of male respondents said they wanted a fixer-upper, where their partner wanted a new home. For women, again, that top disagreement was price. And you can see overall, price was the top disagreement, which was 53%. Like, how much should we spend? Location was actually number 2 at 29%. Style, 18%. And then kind of actually, I forgive it, tied was the condition, where between new or fixer-upper. And I know as a guy, I will overestimate what I think I can or will do on a place. And my wife can recognize that little scotoma in me on occasion, my little blind spot. But does that sound accurate to you?
I think so. Definitely. I mean, I was thinking size or style just because, I think women tend to be more in touch with those things than men. But I
tend
can
to think
see
about
that.
it just a little bit more.
Yeah. But
Yeah. And they had there were over 1,000 that were surveyed, and they had a couple of the little nuggets in there. Like 80% found 80% of the over 1,000 surveyed said that buying a home, purchasing a new home with their partner was a very important issue for them. 91% had worked on a home on a new home budget with their partner, so they'd actually gone through the steps of figuring out how to be able to afford it. And this was kind of interesting. 32% said they spent up to 2 years saving for a home with their partner. 32%, nearly 1 in 3.
That's good.
Actually spent up to 3 years. Absolutely, especially in a market like this, right? To be prepared and ready to go.
Yeah, home buyers are a lot healthier than they were years ago, and prepared. So that's good.
Yeah. Okay, well, that was the headlines. That was the quizzes. Hopefully you learned at least a little something, and we've gone a little bit over time. I know we've got just a couple of things that we wanted to bring to the attention of everyone. One is Forms Friday just started. So if you are in real estate and you're interested in the forms and how they are utilized within a transaction so you can best represent your clients, Steve is doing that right now. Steve Chung, our DB, and that's a phenomenal class. Feel free to tune into that. And then we have something coming up here that we just had a guest on Monday, and we have a class coming up that we want everybody to know about, right?
Yeah. Which word? We've got a class. We've got a couple classes actually that are coming up. We have our certified negotiation expert class that is coming up October 18th to 20th with Greg Markoff. And Greg is amazing, and he's funny, and he's very wise, and he's a practitioner as well as a negotiator in his business, and has been teaching it for over a decade. 14 years he's been teaching negotiations. So absolutely. And we will also have coming up a realtor safety. September is Realtor Safety Month. We had a realtor safety class this past week, and we're following up with a self-defense class. It's going to be coming up soon. We'll be getting that information out to you guys as well, where you can literally put your fists up and learn how to fight so that you can get the flight, so that is also going to be coming up here soon. And we're excited to be able to host that in our office. So,
yeah. And one thing, well, actually two things. One thing we haven't really talked about yet is we've been getting everything set and moving forward. We've got two announcements. One, and we could do it with bigger fanfare, but always just want to let you know, we've got in Washington State, in our area, we have something new coming aboard, right? Very soon.
Absolutely. We are going to be announcing very soon the opening of a new office. So we are expanding our footprint into the Tumwater area. And so we're really excited about that. It will be official, and we'll be doing a grand opening and inviting everyone out to celebrate and see the space here soon. So stay tuned.
And in addition to that, we have some news that our talent group has grown, and we also now have a brokerage in Arizona, in Chandler. And so if you have questions about that, we'll start bringing you more news about Arizona. There's a lot of migration patterns, a lot of influx of people moving into Arizona. Donna and I came down, absolutely fell in love. It's so different from the Northwest. The Northwest will always be home in the heart, but this has really been a new adventure, and looking forward to letting you know more about that. And then if you know anybody that's moving into the area, let them know. We'd love to help them. And if they just need a little more information or understand how that process would go, we would love to be able to help get them informed. So with that, there was one other thing, and next month is October. And next month, there's a little pink ribbon that so many people are wearing on their chest or on their arm. And that represents what, Davina?
It represents breast cancer and the fight against breast cancer. And so we are wanting to support breast cancer research, and also remember family members, friends that are either fighting or have fought the battle against breast cancer, or even the survivors of breast cancer. This is the month that we really commemorate and we really dig in. And so we're participating in the Making Strides event in Southwest Washington. So again, we're going to be doing that. I believe that's coming up on October 9th. So we'll be doing the walk. We are encouraging people to also join us in fundraising for breast cancer research and getting a cure for this disease. And so we'll have a link that will go out where you can actually either join our team or donate. And we have a goal of $5,000 this year that we are looking to raise, and are really excited to be able to participate. And so we're going to be seeing us wearing pink this coming month, and really having a focus on this. So
yeah, our plan is to lean in and really do something. Within John L. Scott, we have a core value of living a life of contribution. And through the pandemic, we've found ways, even what we began with this whole podcast thing with the talent talks, et cetera, was to really find a way to contribute, not only in terms of communication, but finding a need and addressing it. We've not focused on that as much as we kind of rolled past that, and it's really focused in on the connection. But now we want to lean back in on the contribution again and really find ways to contribute. So we'd love for you to join us in this. We have a link that you can donate for the team, and we just want to find a way to make a really massive contribution where we can. So
yep,
I hope you can join us.
That's right. And as we end, one thing that also is ending soon before we end is the fair. So the fair, I think the last day of the fair is on Sunday. So if you have not gotten out to the fair, this is your last chance this weekend. Tomorrow's going to be a beautiful day. Sunday is going to be raining, but they have all those fair deals on the last day of the fair. So make sure you get out.
No pun intended.
Yeah, right. So anyway, we are just again honored to be able to be here again today with you guys, and again living that life as a contribution, and also doing the things that really are going to move that needle forward, not just in our lives, but in lives of others. And in order to do that, many times we got to get outside that comfort zone and we got to be bold. So let's make that proclamation today. Let's live it out this weekend. We will see you back here on Monday for another episode of our Talent Talk. And are you ready to go, Jurgen? You want to count us down from the AZ?
We can do that.
All right.
All right. Just stay with us. Make that declaration. Do something today that is going to move the needle forward into your success. So on 3, say, be bold with us. 1, 2, 3. Be bold.
Be bold.
All right. Everybody have a phenomenal day. Look forward to seeing you on Monday.
Yep. Have a great weekend.